Welcome, gentlemen, to another broadcast of the fifth quarter. I'm here with my esteemed colleague, Marcus Goodman, as always, bringing you guys into the first week of the 2011 season. It's going to be a great year. Got some great matchups this week. Bringing into our sponsor, Mrs. Butterworth, maple syrup, delicious on French toast, Eggos, and really anything. So on to, I think Marcus is going to talk a little bit about malfunctions on the website.
Yeah, I had just want to point out a few things here on the website malfunctions. There weren't malfunctions that were just people who didn't know how to use the website. Pointing at you, Kevin and Dusty. So just stick with me here, guys. Trust me, it's a lot better website than NFL.com. It'll take a little bit. If you go to the right side, Corey just showed me this. You go down the right side on the home page, scroll down to the week one matchups. You can click preview, and it'll do projections of that week's score, and it gives you kind of a breakdown of what the fantasy sharks, the gurus, think about it.
Great tool. Has a little bar graph there for you.
So take a little bit of time from hanging out with your wife and kids or playing with your dick.
We don't have that problem.
No. And just take a look at the website and figure it out. It's really not that tough. Timmy, I'd tell you to, but you're not going to anyway, so you're just going to keep struggling. I'll have to set your lineup every week. It's a burden. I have enough stuff going on in my own life, being commissioner of this fine league, to have to deal with setting your lineup, but it is what it is. Yeah, I can see he's going into a home league this older.
Yeah, well,
too much time, too much
trouble.
That's
what happens when I get up. Another little point I want to bring up is checks and balances. We got 4 people in: Tim, Drew, Marcus, and myself, all paid for. Let's get that money, and Jason as well. Let's get that money rolling in so we can get everything lined up for the rest of the year.
I don't want to do it. I know what you guys are. You're forcing my hand on this issue. Don't do it. Justin, if you're looking at me, I'm looking straight at you. Don't force my hand. I'm going to do it. If it's sent, it's sent. I can always go back if Jordan or Jenny or Dusty tell me it's sent. We'll leave your lineups unlocked, and then when I see the postmark, it's not postmarked before the day or two before it's supposed to be here, I'm going to go back and lock your lineups. And
we don't want to do that.
You're going to take a loss.
Yeah.
Pool picks. People have been asking me nonstop. It's not against the spread. I know it showed it, the confidence picks. I changed that today. Not against the spread, so it's just a pick 'em. The survivor pool. Pick one team in the NFL. Doesn't matter who it is. You can only pick them once for the entire year. Once you lose, you're out of it. So it should be over by week 5, week 6 tops. Usually by then. And then the fantasy one is basically picking our fantasy teams against each other. So you can look at the predictions if you want to. I would advise not to. It's usually not that accurate. But if you want to, take a look at the predictions. Make sure you get those picks in. Money there's $10 from everybody is coming out of this roughly. It's going to be $100 per pool. Everybody's already entered into them, so it would behoove you to make all the picks, because if you miss them, it is what it is.
Shame on you.
Hey, not me.
We're giving you the warning right now.
Other than that, there is a game tomorrow, guys. If somebody doesn't know, probably shouldn't be in this league anyway. But
probably throw out a mass text tonight. Let everybody know. Warn them of the situation we have going tomorrow. Make sure your lineups are set if you have anybody playing tomorrow night.
And the only ones I noticed were Sino and Timmy, who didn't have their lineup set. So I know Timmy's going to do it. That's all he's been talking about. Old man won't shut up about it.
Okay.
So,
and did you go over the waivers? We got all that figured out.
Waivers, there are no waivers, guys. For the first week, I'm just going to let it go. It's kind of going to be the Wild West. And then I think we're going to have a league vote on it. I think I'm going to limit the number of waiver moves you can make. This would be called the Kevin rule. That guy, he just lives on the computer making waiver moves. That's hence why his team name is Waiver Wire Gems, because he couldn't draft a lick, but ended up picking up a bunch of guys off waivers. So it'll be a league vote, but we'll see how that goes.
On to predictions for this week.
Yeah.
Fire those off. You want to start out with one? Or?
I can open up one. I got the first one I got here on my list is Drew versus Denny.
Exciting little matchup.
It is. Both of them have good teams. I think they both had good drafts. A little concerned about MJD for Drew.
Sure.
You know, was quite a dud last year.
Wasn't a keeper by any
His
means.
wide receivers, I don't know what he plans on doing with them. He's got, he does have one. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but I know that he's questionable for this weekend's game. The other ones are lackluster at best.
Average.
Yeah, I would say they're right above maybe a Mike Williams from the Seahawks.
Ooh.
And right below like an Earl Bennett from Chicago. So that's what he's working with. Sure. He could literally drop 4 of his wide receivers and pick up 4 better ones off the waiver wires right now. As for Denny, not a whole bunch of weaknesses in his lineup. I don't see it as being a great lineup. I do have a question of Tony Romo, leading the team.
Coming back from that collarbone injury last year.
I don't know what's going to happen. Is he going to get injured again in the first or second week? But Denny should know this. I mean, he's like a 12-year-old overweight kid who, is addicted to porn and has Miley Cyrus posters scattered around his room. All he does is sit on the computer. So I'm sure that he's read, a baker's dozen fantasy websites and thinks that he has it figured out. But I actually picked Drew on this one. I think Drew's going to take out the Chi-Town
Think he's going to get him?
I think he's going to get him. I think it'll be a close one, but I think Phillip Rivers is going to have a monster game. So
Awesome. On to one of my picks, I got Kevin. They got him projected at 140 points this week against Marcus, the Honey Badgers, at 128. I'm not just doing this because you're my roommate, but I think you got to. I went through a walkthrough last evening at the Honey Badgers practice, and I did have Marcus. I had a little chat with him next to the Gatorade jug over there in between sprints when he's running the team. And he was quoted as saying, "We've got to dig deep this week and just make sure our guys show up and play well."
I was out sprinting with the team too. Did you notice that?
I did notice that. Just known as one of the better in shape managers of the league. I'm looking for him to do some magic this week and upset Kevin on the biggest spread.
Let's just upset on the spread.
Yeah.
It's not going to be an upset.
No.
The next one I have it comes to you and Bobby. Corey and Bob. I don't know the team names offhand right now. I know it's gabbing my ear off and walk out with the talk out or the champ. Okay, touche. Last year. Questions for Corey. I do have some concerns. Your running back issue. I know you have 12 running backs.
Yes, I do.
How are you going to pick 2 or 3 of those guys to start?
Well, I'm just going to take a look, and I don't really look off projections that much. But what I did was my evil thinking on all those running backs is that I'm handcuffing a couple guys out there. And, we'll see what happens.
Is Bobby one of the guys you're handcuffing? Because
it really could be. I don't know. I'd have to look.
Sure.
But we'll see what happens. An injury pops up. Those guys become very valuable.
How do you feel about your wide receivers? That's
my receivers are pretty decent. Roddy White, he's not bad. Jeremy Macklin, pretty decent. Percy
How's Macklin feeling?
Macklin's he had a little lymph node issue.
Is he feeling really good? So you got Roddy White, you got a receiver, and then
I do.
Much like Matt Hasselbeck there, a little thin in that position, but not a big deal.
No.
As for Bob, I hate to do it to you since you are my roommate.
Sure.
I think that he's going to edge you out by points, and how he's going to get these points is by his 5th round pick, which is Sebastian Janikowski.
Wow. That
was
quite a surprise.
I'm just kidding. I don't think that I think Bob has an awful team. And nicest guy in the league by far, which pains me to say this about him, but not the greatest draft, and I think it might have had to do with having to go down to dinner. Sure,
I heard his wife was calling him out on the
Erica. Yeah, well, she grabbed his balls out of her purse, and he's got to do what he's got to do. So because of the draft, I don't see it going any other way than you taking him down in the.
Yeah, well, I hope so. I would just say that Bobby was thrown into a bowl full of pussy whip. Anyway, on to the next projection. I got a cousin matchup, Tyler, the Poontang Predators, versus Dusty, and this is going to be a fucking gunslinger show. Tyler's projected at 150, Dusty at 138. We'll see what happens, but I'd like to go with the guy from Eberg, Dusty Mills. He's coming off. He was in our league last year, but the year before, I believe he won the championship, and he's a little hungry.
That's the interesting pick right now is Dusty.
Yeah.
He's trending high on Twitter.
He was quoted as he thinks the team matches up well. And Tyler, on the other hand, said that they just need to play within themselves. So it's going to be a great matchup. Looking forward to it. What you got on
The last one I got that I'm going to talk about is going to be the old man versus the kid from Vegas.
Ooh.
Timmy, the draft. You know, he read half of Fantasy Magazine, and then he already looks like he's been, you know, beat with a nylon full of gravel.
Yeah.
So he thinks that he's already out of it. But if his team has to mesh,
Yeah.
they've got it. They got to come together in that locker room.
Got to be like the fucking
and become what they got to come from here,
Yeah.
and then, you know, bring it down into this.
Yep.
I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. He hasn't submitted his lineup yet. It's not going to shock me if a lineup is not submitted. I don't think he's got anybody going tomorrow, but
after that draft, I just didn't really see a lot of enthusiasm out of him. You know,
he was a little butthurt. You know, he thought he had a deep sleeper in Julio Jones.
Yeah.
He was going to wait till about the 8th round to pick him up, and then realized that
he was gone.
somebody had snatched him in the 5th.
Somebody snatched him in the 5th.
And then Sino, I didn't think it was a strong draft for him, but kind of what made the draft Vic in the 7th.
Yeah.
You know, he might throw up 50 points this week. He might beat Timmy single-handedly.
Yeah. I do like that team out of Las Vegas. You know, I don't know.
Boat race here. I'm
think so?
saying it's going to be a boat race.
Yeah. They'll have his team ready. Rookie of the league. Should be great, man.
Vegas Chainsaw Massacre.
Also, another rumor was floating around that Tim Goodman was trying to buy Drew Goodman's team.
There's been a lot of talk going on. Hey, I keep my hands. I'm a commissioner, but I keep my hands out. I'm not Goodell. I'm not going to go in and start poking my head where it doesn't belong. I'm sure that I've heard rumors. I don't know personally. Rumors are flying that money is flying around for players and teams, and kind of to say I'm kind of with it. You know?
Yeah. Well, we got to watch out for that guy.
He has to spice up the league.
He's got the deep pockets in the league, so we got to watch that guy a little bit. He might just try to swoop in and buy any team he wants. Hey, so we'll keep an eye on him. Just let everybody know.
I feel like I'm a good enough manager. I could take his team and turn it around into how many weeks we played? 13. I could turn his team. I'm putting this out there. Guarantee I can turn his team into a 3-10 team.
Really?
They're going to be about they're going to be about a 1-12 team right now. I can turn it into a 3-10 team in a heartbeat. But yeah, I've got Sino in an unbelievable landslide, much like Custer's last stand. It's going to be ugly. So I got Sino.
Wow. Okay.
Hands down.
I got Sino too on that one. Sorry, Timmy. I was at the draft.
But better than last year.
I watched you live.
Better than last year.
Better than last year?
I think he's going to be better than last year.
Of course, hopefully.
It can be very tough, but I believe he can step up.
And then last but not least, I know you two have probably thought I forgot about you, but this is the toilet bowl of week 1, just for the simple fact we have the first 2 picks going against each other this year. Justin versus Jason. And you know what, to tell you the truth, I don't know if it was a simple fact that you guys had the first couple picks, but your teams aren't that bad.
I'm mildly impressed.
Yeah, not bad at all.
What they did.
Justin was quoted as saying there's no easy games in this league this year. Well, obviously last year there was no easy games for him, was there?
Not for him.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a simple mix of fishing and being a father figure to a son and a daughter.
There's a lot of things he does that have no fantasy value.
Yeah,
a lot of things.
We're really hoping that he's going to pick up the pace a little bit this year because, I mean, we've got a waiting list. And shit, man, you've been probably one of my best friends since we're young, but
on the chop block. Boy, loves the game.
Yeah.
But
I would say
that's what it always comes down to.
You know, as long as we get paid, we let the guy ride. And if he doesn't finish above 500 this year, we've got to do some serious thinking on this.
I'm thinking maybe the last place team.
You think so?
Yep. Chop block. You're out. Unless you're the champ, and then you have a. We'll give you a 2-year window.
2-year window, okay. Yep.
That's going to be another thing I'm going to put to vote. You know, I want to see changes in this league. And I'm going to finish that statement after you get done. I mean, we got about 30 seconds here.
Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. So I got Justin doing a little upset here.
I see this as another one that's going to be kind of
should be a shit show.
Uphill battle for Justin. I see Jason's team.
You see Jason winning?
Pounding it out. I really do. But that's it, boys. For the first week, we got about 20 seconds in the show left.
Yeah.
Going to be these every week, just like last year. Hoping to spice it up.
Give us some feedback, too. Let us know if there's anything we can change.
speak up. You know, throw a little shit talking out there, something. That's what it's supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be just show up on Saturdays and submit your lineup. Figure it out, everybody.